What's going on, Wild Family? Today we're going to be answering the question whether or not the Tesway X5 can live up to the hype that it has as being one of the best long-range e-bikes. We're also going to answer the question whether or not the Tesway X5 e-bike can handle the demands of a dasher. Today, we're gonna be taking this bad baby out. We're gonna be taking it through the rigors of a dash. We're gonna do the morning shift. Let me just give you a quick review on the bike and some of the specs. Now, if you are a subscriber of my channel, you know, because I've already presented the bike, I did one major modification, in my opinion, and that was changing the tires. I am not a fan of most e-bike stock tires. Hence why I almost always change the tires on all the e-bikes. There's only been a few exceptions. The GOAT power bikes, like my Mini GOAT and then my Motor GOAT, those tires were great. And then surprisingly enough, also the tires on the Anioki and the Ihora Juliet. Now, let me go over really quick some of the specs on this bike. Let's start with the motors. It has dual motor. It's a 2000 watt motors. It peaks at 3000 watts. The torque has 190 Newton meters of torque. Max speed on their website is claimed at 38 miles an hour. We're going to verify that today on today's ride. The battery, which is supposed to be the best part of this bike, it is a 52 volt 70 amp battery with a claim range of 200 miles on pedal assist. And this is the one that I'm really going to try to test out. It is claiming that in full throttle electric mode, it can go up to 180 miles. Now, if you know anything about e-bikes, yeah, this bike can probably hit that 180 miles or that 200 miles on pedal assist, but you have to drive it like a grandma. We're not going to be doing that today, so we'll see how far we go. It comes with a 58.8 volt charger, 8 amps. It has full suspension, which, by the way, I think it's a plus. I've already ridden this bike. It is a very smooth ride. Nice LCD color display, and it comes in at 119 pounds with the battery. So now that you have some of the specs, let me just go over a couple of operations. A couple of things that I really like about the bike. The grips, right? These grips are really, they're rubber grips, but they're locking grips. They're kind of thin, but they have palm rest. You also have this nice little display. To turn it on, you need either a code or you need this. That's how you turn it on. Really easy. There's one feature on this bike that's a little annoying, but it's really not that much of an inconvenience. And that is to unlock it, you have to press this I button, hold it down. You're gonna see that 99 display. Now the bike is unlocked. Now, you have to do that every time you turn on the bike. If you turn it off, turn it on, you have to hit that I button. But everything else is kind of standard. Another thing I like about this bike is it has a battery bar, you know, E for empty, obviously, F for full, and it gives you percentage. Now, you can also get wattage, but you can only see one or the other, percentage or wattage. Then if you see that flashing light, that tells me that the rear motor is the only thing on. To get it's the I button. You have to double tap the I button. Now we're on dual motor mode. Tap it, and then you go back to rear motor. That's a little bit of an issue when it's sunny out, because for me, it's really tough to see. Now, if you have perfect vision, you're not gonna have that problem. I personally do have that problem, because during the day when it's really, really bright, it's tough to see which motor is on. So I have to cover it, but you'll see it on today's ride, and then you can determine for yourself if you can see it or not. But it's very difficult, and everything else is pretty much standard. This is one of the bikes that you really don't have to go into the menus, the advanced menu or advanced settings, because it comes pretty much set really nice. You have your shifter. I added the phone, I added the mirrors, I added the off-market turn signals and alarm, which is this little panel here. The seat, in my opinion, is very, very comfortable. I usually change out seats. In this case, I do not have to change out seats. If you go back here, you get to see how bright that tail light is. I really like how bright that is. And everything else is pretty much standard that you'll see in almost in any other e-bike. But like I said, we're gonna test this out. We're gonna see how the comfort is. We'll check out the range, we'll check out the speed, and we'll check out the durability of the bike during a dash. As always, before this review comes out, please understand that I'm going to be riding this for at least a week, so I can give you a real, true, honest opinion on the bike, because I mentioned this before on many other channels. One of the things that I don't like about e-bike influencers, especially the well-known guys, they do a phenomenal job giving you the specs, but when they talk about the bike, the ride quality, all that stuff, unfortunately, most of these guys only ride the bikes 1 or 2 times, and they don't ride it anymore. In order to really determine whether or not a bike is reliable, is durable, you have to ride it for some extended period of time. And most of the bikes, whenever I do a review, they have a minimum of 150 miles on the bike. That way I know for a fact, is it durable? Is it reliable? Is there any little issues that don't normally pop up on one ride, right? So that's important to me. And this is why once I receive a bike, it takes me a little bit to have the review come out, because I have to ride it for at least 150 miles so that I can know more or less all the ins and outs of the bike, and I can give you a good, honest opinion on the bike. Anyway, my beautiful people, let's go ride. All right, my beautiful people, it is bright early in the morning. We're taking out the Tesway X5 all-wheel drive dual motor, 52 watt 60 amp battery e-bike. We're gonna be riding for about 3 hours, or maybe a little longer, because I'm gonna really test out the range on this bike. And we're gonna do some dashing. And I already have a shop order. Let me open this up. Look at that bike, guys, look at that bike. I already have a shop order at the CVS. So we're gonna head out there. Right now, pedal assist 1. Let's see what pedal assist 1 can do. Now remember guys, I pedal. So most of you guys, we're gonna test this out in throttle only as well. But right now, pedal assist 1 gives me 9.5 miles per hour. Let's see if anything changes with the throttle. It actually drops with the throttle to 9. Let's go to pedal assist 2. Now we're on single motor. Single motor gives me a little bit more of a pickup. I like it. On pedal, we're at 16 miles an hour. And then we'll see if anything changes when I get up here with throttle only when we make this turn. I'm going to spend a lot of the day in dual motor. Again, when I do these tests, especially the range, when I want to see how far I can get with the range, I have to do it in dual motor, because that's worst case scenario, right? All right, let's see what happens with throttle. Throttle only. Again, same thing, it drops you down a little bit, 15.6. Let's go to 3. We're at 3. and 3 gives me 22.5 miles. And we'll see what throttle only gives me on 3 single motor. We're gonna get caught by this light. Let's see throttle only. Throttle only 21.8. Flash is 22. But same thing, pedal, you get a little bit more speed if you're assisting it. So let's go to 4 pedal. 4 pedal gives me 28. And I still got feelings in the pedal, which is good. 28 point, almost 29, 28.9. Let's see throttle only. It's 29, 28, 28.9, steady 28.9. What about 28? So when pedal assist 4, you can see that we no longer get that added benefit from pedaling. We're gonna switch to 5. And let's see how that works. All right, let's get up to speed. I love the feeling of the pedals. All right, pedal assist 5. Right now I'm at 31, 32. Let's see if I pedal. 33, 33. Yeah, steady 33. Let's see with just throttle only. 34. But a steady 33. All right, now we're gonna switch to dual motor. And again, by switching to dual motor, you just have to tap that I button. There we are, we're in dual motor, pedal assist 5, and holy smokes, it picks up. Up to 36 right now. All right, steady 36.5. Let's see with the throttle only. Throttle only stays about the same, nothing really different. But there's just top speed, people, 36 miles an hour. Not bad. I actually love it. So, now we're gonna keep it in dual motor. I'm gonna stay in dual motor all day today. And since I have a shop order, I'm gonna try to get there as quickly as possible, pick this stuff up and have it delivered. And it'll be our first delivery of the day. All right, we're coming up to the CVS, but let's talk about this display. It is dawn, it's early in the morning, so we don't have the full sunlight, but I love the display right now. As you can see, I like the colors. I like how you got the speedometer right there. It gives you max speed. You can change that. Again, by hitting the power button, it gives you average miles per hour, the 50, your voltage, 52, your time, although I didn't set my time, it's saying 23:52, but I didn't set it. Your odometer. Let's switch over to trip. Now trip resets, so that's not gonna work for us. So I'm gonna keep this bad baby in voltage. But I like the display. Again, if you look, it gives you your battery 100%. Now keep in mind, when you're talking about percentage, because of the voltage drop when you're going, that's gonna fluctuate. but you also have the battery bars, and right now we have all of the battery bars. How many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, I think 6 battery bars, right? Am I seeing that right? Yeah, it looks like 6. So we'll keep track of all that. All right, we're here at the CVS. Let's get this pickup done. As I mentioned, I have this aftermarket alarm. Let's see what we have. I didn't even look at how many orders we got. And we're looking for orange. So the way I do is I always look at the color. This helps me direct my eyes to where I need to be. Those are oranges there. Let's go to aisle 10. So which one does he want? The 12. That's 10. Okay, I'm pushing the checkout. Let's see.
Therefore, please scan it now.
All right, let's head out and drop off this delivery. All right, this is my version of the hill test. Pedal assist 5 up the overpass. Just to give you an idea, I don't know if you can see how high we are. So that was my version of the hill test. All right, we are here at the Best Western. Let's drop this off. Oops, I almost set the alarm off because I set it early. All right, I got another order. Let's go take care of this other order. And let's head to, I believe this is gonna be Dunkin' Donuts. All right guys, here's a quick reminder for my bike dashers, right? When you get an order, if it's a food order, you don't have to really rush there. Just look at the time that they want you to be there, or they expect you to be there, and then get there maybe 1 or 2 minutes after that time. And that way you'll have less wait time at the restaurant. In addition, right now I'm using dual motor, right? I'm in Florida, I don't really need dual motor, but I'm using dual motor so I can test out the range of the bike. But even with that, one of the things to keep in mind is when you're going through residential areas or areas where there's going to be a lot of stop and go, you don't have to like rush to the light. It's more efficient and it'll give you more battery life if you use less brakes, right? Meaning don't go super fast so that you have to slam on the brakes, a lot of that stop and go, because that kills the battery and also isn't efficient in terms of your time getting there. It's not going to get you any faster. So like now I'm heading to my pickup, but I'm in pedal assist 4. I'm actually pedaling. I'm taking my time in terms of I'm trying to use less brakes so I can just continue to move and keep the bike moving, so I can increase the efficiency of the bike and increase the battery life. Very important. So just keep that in mind. All right, I got a double pickup now. On my way to the first pickup, they sent me a second one. So we'll pick that up as well. All right, both my orders are for here at the Dunkin'. So I'm gonna pick these 2 up and then drop them off. All right, check this out. It's the first time I've seen this in Dunkin' Donuts. That's pretty cool. All right, we got 2 drink orders. One I'm not concerned about, but this one I am, because this is hot coffee. Let me see how I can put this. I wonder if I can put it this way. No, I'm gonna have to go this way. What you want to do is you want to jam them or put them in a manner in which they're not going to move, or at least not move as much. So I got that there. Got that there. I'm going to put this right on top. And here's one of the reasons why it's important to have a bike that has good suspension. Because right now I got to go 1.2 miles to deliver this coffee. And hot coffee and delivery drivers are not friends. So we're going to try to go as easy as possible, and let's see where we need to go. The better we know where we're going down Monroe. But what sucks is that we have to cross 441. So let's see if we can deliver this without spilling a lot of coffee, because we will definitely spill some coffee. We were doing so good. We get to Madison Street, and this Madison Street is so bumpy. 5405, which will be on the left. There it is. You know, I like the way this bag is low to the ground. I can smell the coffee. That means it's spilled. This one is, and I gotta drop off. It's not the hot coffee though. Delivered.
Head to your drop-off at 1400 East Hawthorne Circle.
So far, very impressed with this bike. Very impressed. The suspension is nice. I like how low the bike is. So this bag is low in comparison to some of my other bikes. The bike is super high. So let's continue here at Madison. 52nd. 1400. It's gonna be on my left. All right, that was sketchy. Those two deliveries, that coffee delivery, I know is jacked up. I mean, I can smell the coffee. I spilled coffee everywhere. Very difficult. I hate delivering coffee. Couple of things I want to talk about the bike now. So far, so good. The bike, the suspension's really, really nice. It's really comfortable. I want to compare the ride to, like, if you're driving a car, just consider this ride like driving a Cadillac or a Lexus, you know, something luxurious, really smooth. All right, guys, here's going to be my version of the hill test. We're going to be going up the Sterling and Turnpike overpass. And I'm at, what am I? I'm at like 50% battery. And see, here's what I was saying about when it's sunny out, look at the screen. And specifically look at the bike to see if you can see which motor you're on, and as you can see, it's difficult to see. Now I'm going up, I am losing 1 mile per hour. Actually, I got it back, I'm at 32. So I didn't do that bad going uphill. Now this bike is not the torquiest bike out there, but I'm in South Florida, it is flat, I don't need a whole lot of torque. So for me, it's more than enough. Right now I'm just driving around trying to kill some battery. I'm gonna see if I can get to at least 30%. It's a lot of battery on this bike. And I was super busy dashing, so I didn't, I couldn't really go non-stop. Right now I'm gonna go west to probably Pine Island and then heading east. That should give me about an additional 10 miles if I'm not mistaken. And then hopefully by then we'll be at 30% battery, and then I'll call it for the day. I just use throttle. Right now I'm at 33. I gotta see if I am at both motors. You can hear that front motor. But it's hard to see from the screen if you're on. Yeah, I'm on both motors. And I'm at, it looks like I'm right at 50%, 51% battery. We're at 42 miles. Holy smokes, man. We can definitely get probably 70 miles easy. So let me see if I just get to 50 miles. And then maybe I'll come out tonight. I won't recharge the battery. I'll keep the Strava on, and maybe I'll ride another hour tonight. I want to take the bike off-road. Let me drop it down. Let's see. Yeah, let's go around this lake. Taking it off-road, see how it feels. I do not have off-road tires, but they still should do fine here. Yeah, it does more than fine. It does more than fine. Morning. Actually go out through this gate. So let me go out through this gate. Alright guys, I'm gonna head home now. I'll give you the final numbers when I get there. Right now we're at 3 hours and 20 minutes. And 53 miles, and I still have like 2 miles left to get to the house. But let me give you some thoughts on the bike, and then I'll give you my final thoughts when I get to, or the final numbers when I get to the house. So let's start with the overall comfort of the bike. For riding 3 hours and 50 miles, man, do I feel good. The seat is perfect. And if you follow the channel, you know I normally change the seat. I don't like the wide seats. This one's not super wide, like you would see on the original seat of the Furious EMX, if you're familiar with that bike. And I changed the seat on that bike, but I'm not changing the seat on this one. I love it. It's comfortable. So in terms of ride comfort, I give this bike a 10. In terms of the smoothness of the ride, because you can be comfortable, but the ride might not be super smooth, meaning you'll get that, like for example, my Juliet Pro 2, the front motor is so strong that when you activate that front motor, I mean, you get a lot of jerkiness, because it's very difficult to control the throttle if you're using throttle. Even when you pedal, your initial crank or initial rotation, man, it just gives the bike too much power from the start, and there's no way to control the start settings on it, or at least I haven't found it yet. If you're watching and you know how to control what setting number that I can go to control that start setting on that front motor, if it's available, let me know, right? Next, I'm going to talk about how I feel the controls are, right? Again, I've already talked about the grips. The grips are rubber, standard grips that you see in a lot of other bikes, but the handlebars, they're smaller, right? They're not as thick. So for me, it's a lot more comfortable, and where the position of the brakes is perfect. Some bikes I can't position the brakes the way I position this because of the way the throttle is set, and there's not enough room to put the stuff that I need on the bike. So sometimes I don't get that perfect positioning for the brakes. This one I got plenty of room in the cockpit, right? I got my phone, I got my camera, I got my off-market alarm and off-market turn signals. So there's plenty of room. Now, the speed of the bike. We already went over the pause settings, but here's something to keep in mind. When I hit 40% battery, I definitely saw a dip in power, right? It still goes over 30 miles an hour. I was averaging about 31 miles an hour, but I definitely saw that dip. And I didn't get that start strength also dropped, which it already has a slow start to it, which again, I'm gonna repeat, I like that. I like that soft start in comparison to an aggressive start. I don't like an aggressive start. I find that it's a much smoother ride, comfortable ride. And if you're a delivery driver, you need that smooth start, especially if you got drinks in the back. So that's another thing to keep in mind. The other very important thing is it does have a USB port for your cell phone, but it does not charge the phone. In fact, I can keep it on there and it won't dip, but it won't charge it. So that's an issue for me because I can't get this phone below 20%. So keep that in mind. It will not charge your phone. It'll just keep it from draining. So that's that. All right, I'm at home. Let me pull in to my bike shop and then we'll go over the final numbers. Right, well, family, the ride is done. So I got these bike stands and parked the bikes. Let me show you that. So now I'm able to organize this, and as you can see, I have enough room to park all my bikes now, with the exception of that one and that one, but I have a bike rack that's coming that's I'm gonna push that one a little bit. It's gonna go right there, and those two bikes will go in that little corner. So I have all the space I want. Now I am trying to sell my Seeker 24, my Side Rusher, and my Anioki. So if anyone's interested in any of those bikes, reach out to me. I'm gonna put my info, or my email is in my profile. So just go ahead and do that. Let's look at the final numbers. So we are at 29% battery, and let's go to Strava. We rode for 3 hours and 25 minutes, an average speed of 15.9. We went 54.39 miles. So no question in my mind, we talked about earlier, each bar represents about 10 miles. So it actually represents more than that, because if there's six battery bars, if each one represented 10 miles, then it would give us 60 miles. But as you can see, we're at 30 and we're at 54. So if you there's actually two. So let's just say estimate like 15 miles each. We'll definitely get about 80 miles to this bike. But I am not riding that much or that far. I'm not gonna ride on this bike for that long. And I don't like to bring the battery that low. I am not like Scott, my boy in Chicago, who loves running out of battery. I'm not doing that, because I'm not calling somebody to come rescue me or to bring my truck to get this bike out. So I'm not doing that. So I won't go below 30, or I've gone as low as 10% on some bikes. But it gives you an idea on range for those that are looking for range. Again, super happy with the bike. Like super happy. It is probably a 9.5 out of 10 in terms of bikes. It's really, I have my favorites, as you know. First of all, here's my wired bike, and this is going to be tested soon. I'm just waiting on the new tires to come in, because I don't have any confidence in those tires, just like I didn't have confidence in the tires that were on This Tesway, I changed that, and the tires that were on my move cam, those were changed. Now these Secret 24s, these tires aren't horrible, they aren't great either, but because I don't ride these that much, I hardly ever ride them, to be honest, anymore. So I didn't change that. It's the same thing with my side rushers. But I'm getting rid of those. But those are on my Furious bike. Those tires are phenomenal. The tires on the Horrors are phenomenal. The tires, these tires came in. They're actually right there. These tires are going on my Puja, because I actually love this bike. It's big for me, but I'm gonna keep it for a while. It's a fun bike to ride. And again, these tires are phenomenal. So, my beautiful people, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Go ahead and look at the t-shirts that I have, or the link for the t-shirts that I have below. If you want to help out the channel, if you want to help out a good cause, then buy a t-shirt. Love you guys.